Hello, welcome to our channel. This is a quick video, short video as a quick user guide for Safari Atlas Tanzania, the essential Tanzania Safari app for anybody who's visiting Tanzania and going on safari in any of the 6 major national parks. It's available on the App Store for Apple phones and the Google Play Store for Androids. So first of all, we open the app and we arrive at the home page, which is the Explore page. Gives you some little information there about the app, how many wildlife species are covered in the app over the parks, the number of landmarks, 6 national parks, and each national park you can see here has a fact file. If we go into Serengeti, it tells you some information about the park and what landmarks there are detailed, and they're all categorized here into your favorites, which we'll get to later: copies, rivers, points of interest, lodges and camps, picnic sites, transport and assistance. And there's also the wildlife that you can expect to see in the Serengeti. There's 146 of that number, so nearly all of them you can find in the Serengeti. Some information here, which is the entry fees, the emergency telephone numbers for the park headquarters or the rangers or medical, and then you have a heading that you can go to. We're a long way away because I'm in the UK at the moment, but if we're in the park, then obviously that's a little closer. So if we were to look, let's say, through the camps, and we know where we're staying, we can actually search for that. So we can go to Intimate, for example, which is in the Serenera, and we can mark that as a favorite. If we then were to be at home and we wanted to check on these camps before we leave, we can navigate to location, and then we can open up the whether it's Google Maps or if you've got an iPhone, the Maps app, and there you can see beautiful satellite image. So it's reassuring, you know there's a camp there, gives you some idea of the spacing between the tents and the layout. So really nice feature for you to add your camps as favorite. So we go back to the main page, so then we can go to maps. And with the maps we have a drop down list here which we could pick which park we want to see, but we're in the Serengeti, and let's just go and put everything on. If we put everything on, then you can see it's really a bit too busy and not particularly helpful. We can zoom in, but you can see all the different camps which are here. If we highlight that camp, we get information, again distance and heading. But what we can do is we can filter it, so we can take off everything and then we just put in our favorites. And if we put in our favorites, this is the CONSERVE camp, and here is the Intimate camp which we just made a favorite of. And maybe they're the camps that we're going to stay in or our friends are staying in. And we can put other things on there. We can put the Rocky Copies on there, for example. Maybe we're going to go and have a look here. Maasai Copies is there. That's Copies, for example. Okay, rivers. We can add the rivers in. This will be the Orangi River crossing. Then we have the different points of interest. For example, the Retama Hippo pools is there. We can put in all of the lodges, or just the ones we're staying in if they're in the favourites. We can put in all of the camps or just the ones which we have favoured. Picnic sites, if it's lunchtime we want to see what the nearest picnic site we're at, we can click on that one, for example. And we're in Marimupi picnic site, which is very popular, very nice place. When we're in the park, a little blue dot will be pulsing there which will tell you your current location, and when you click on something it will tell you how far you are from your current location to that landmark. So that's the maps. Just a couple of other things to tell you. There's the transport. It will show you the airfields, it will show you the gates, and then assistance will show you things like where the hospitals are, medical centres. And if we go up to the top, we should find a ranger post in Lamai. There's a ranger post. So if we have an emergency, we can at least find where the nearest place to go and get some help. So that's maps. If we go to wildlife, there's over 150 different species, again, like I said, categorized between birds, reptiles, mammals, trees and plants. And if we were to say we found a lion, here we go. So we open up the lion fact file, tells you that it's vulnerable, gives you some information about it, some fun facts, where you will see it, which parks you can see it in, and we can then go mark as seen. These are all my own photos, by the way, after 20 years of being on safari, so I have quite an extensive database. Mark as seen, We can do that for anything really. Let's say we want to, or we're not sure, but let's say we might have found a tawny eagle. Let's have a look at that. So if we go to tawny eagle, we've got some information about it, but we have a photograph, and that should help us identify, and then we can say that we spotted it. Okay, so we go back to explore, and then in my sightings, all of the things that we've seen on our trip so far will be listed here. So here we have the lion. We've seen it twice in different locations. It will tell you where, the time, and the date, and you can add some notes about that. What you can also do, let's go to the leopard for example, we can actually open up the camera and take a photo of our leopard, or we can upload a photo that we may have already taken, whether on the phone or whether it's on a digital camera, which you may have uploaded the night before. So that's my sightings. So that brings us to the final tab down the bottom here, Journal. If we open up on Journal, all of those sightings will be listed. So everything we've seen on our safari will be listed in date order. And I can export that, send it to notes, or put it into a Word document or PDF, or email it or WhatsApp it. And I can do that to share my wonderful holiday and memories with people. So then we go to planner. So we start afresh, and then we can say it's Colin on this date. We can choose the date. Let's say we're going to be leaving in July. There we go. Create the trip. Then what I can do is I can add the parks I'm going to go to. So Serengeti on the first day, maybe Serengeti on the second day. Then maybe Ngorongoro Crater, and then Tarangire. And you can see this is my safari building up here day by day. So in Planner as well, there's a blue check clipboard there which will allow me to import my itinerary from my travel agent if the travel agent uses his app. And really useful is a packing list. So all the things you need to remember: passport and visa, cash, credit cards, all important phone charger, maybe a power bank. Electricity is quite ropey out there in the bush. Power adapter. Most of the camps will have UK plugs and sockets, and some of them are international and some might be Euro version, but UK one is a good one to take. Wide brimmed hat, sunglasses, all the way down to your malaria tablets and sunscreen, things that you need to remember when you're going on safari. So that's it. That is the Safari Atlas Tanzania app. It's really, really useful. Great fun as well to use. I just want to make sure you have a wonderful safari holiday and enjoy the app.